Hello guys and welcome back to the second video detailing my trip with my wife to Europe. If you missed the first video I uploaded a couple days ago, it was my trip to Norway. Search it out if you want to see it. Anyways, I'm going to be making a video on each country I went to. A couple of the countries I'm going to combine since, it didn't do as many things as certain other countries. But anyways, Denmark is the topic for today's video. Lovely, lovely, lovely country. Went to Copenhagen. In fact, that is where this picture of me frowning in front of McDonald's was taken. And they sell a tomato and cheese for 15 krones. Is that what it's called? I think it's called, yeah, krones. Yeah, okay. There's Icelandic krones. There's Nordic krones. Um, Sweden. I don't think they called it krones in Sweden. Anyways, maybe they did. Who knows? People that live there, that's who. I don't live there, so I can get it wrong. Anyway, same deal as last time, guys. I'm just going to scroll through some pictures here. Feel free to enjoy them. If you have any questions about what you saw in a certain picture, feel free to ask in the comments or send me a tweet on Twitter. Link for my Twitter's in the video description as always. And let's get to it. Copenhagen, Denmark. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful little city. Spent 2 days there. In case you're wondering, it's Find Dory, not Finding Dory. I don't know. It's still in English, so why isn't it just Finding Dory still? Um, Beautiful country, beautiful city, Copenhagen. Again, no car horns honking. If you don't know what I mean, watch that Norway video. I explain that in detail. Got to a theme park, my first ever theme park outside of the United States, as you're seeing pictures from it right here, Tivoli Gardens. Excellent, excellent park. Not the biggest park for thrill rides. It's got a decent assortment of roller coasters. In fact, even one is an old wooden coaster that has the old hand braking system where the guy has to sit on the coaster and use a manual handbrake to stop the coaster when it comes back to the station, that's about as old school as you can get. There's very, very few of those old hand braking coasters left in the country, left in the world, I should say. Um, a very, very unique country as well in that it seemed to be the most wild of the countries. One of the most peculiar things that I saw, or my wife and I saw, besides the fact that I found something to eat. Look at that! I found something to eat at a restaurant. I had to go halfway across the world, and I don't know what that building is. It's some sort of, yeah, okay. Anyway, one of the most peculiar things is where my wife and I were at Tivoli Gardens, and randomly, like right outside, it's surrounded by 4 city blocks, and on the one side, there's like a guy filming someone with a camera, and he's speaking in a language I don't understand, and he turns his car stereo on, and it starts like beating really loud, and he pulls out these glow sticks in his hand and just starts like hitting his movements with the beat of the song. And then before you know it, 20 other guys are out there in the street dancing with him. And it was like, what the fuck is going on? Just like in the middle of the street. Like they just decided to start dancing. Just in the middle of the street. And this is where I found Gandalf the Gay as well. Copenhagen, you're a unique city. Um, at nighttime, there was so many drunk people all over, and very unique aroma coming out of a lot of places that smelled like weed, probably because it was weed. But it just seemed like a place that really liked to live it up. Oh gosh, there's like some like island that's off. Ah, damn, I'm forgetting the name. But anyways, there's like some island that's like big and partying and a lot of hippies there. Anyways, that's a Little Mermaid, by the way. If you want to back up a second, that's the real Little Mermaid. Unique story behind that Little Mermaid, where the book was first penned. Um, that statue has been beheaded, and like I don't think I think the tour guide said that they don't know where the head is, but that's peculiar. That's peculiar. Someone stealing the head of a mermaid. Anyways, that was it for the picture. So we're just gonna stare at the Icelandic horse laughing at us while I finish the stories that I can recall off of the top of my head from my trip here to Copenhagen. Yeah, it was really, like I said, a city that seemed to like to party. Some would say maybe a bit too much, because at one point my wife and I were walking back home from Tivoli Gardens. It's about midnight at this time, and we see a couple that's older than our parents just stumbling in complete drunkenness, a husband and wife, and the husband is just like, and just fucking falls to the side, falls into a building, and like the wife loses grip of her arm, and she's all like, oh, and she's like losing her balance, and she like stumbles into a lamppost, and I'm just like, wow, they're drunk off their fucking ass. But then I wasn't exactly sober myself, which added to the entertainment value of the whole situation. Um, Again, like I said before, no horns honking, and per capita, there had to be, and I haven't looked this up, but I will probably bet dollars donuts that there are more people per capita that use bikes as a means of transportation in Denmark than any other country in Europe, even though I haven't been to every country in Europe. But anyways, I'm just gonna just venture that as a guess. Anyways, Copenhagen, loved you. Went into the city hall, went up to the tower in City Hall. That's where I got the overhead shots that you saw of the city. Very beautiful, oh, beautiful weather when we were there. The weather was so good for so many days of our trip, except when we went to Germany. That we'll have to find out next time. So, thank you again for watching this little recap. Enough of you guys seem to be interested in seeing the countries I've been to, and some of, like the last time I made the video about Norway, I found out I got, some native Norwegians that watch my videos and explaining things like why the gangster rap music wasn't censored in that deli we went into, and just all sorts of other little things. And you guys have been contacting me about that, so it's pretty cool to hear from the natives of the countries that I visited. Give me feedback. So again, if there's anyone from Denmark out there that wants to send some feedback, or you want to know a little bit more about my visit and what I thought of your country and all that, it's saw our first streetwalker in Denmark as well. Very, very, very unique. I don't know if prostitution is legal or whatever, but she sure as hell didn't look like she was sweating the fact that a cop could arrest her or anything. But much like every other country we went to, there wasn't a big cop presence. Like, I mean, you'd see a random cop car, an ambulance speeding by with a siren on, but and that's another thing too. Like, we're walking home from Tivoli Gardens at midnight, and at no point did I feel like, like, oh, it's kind of shady, it's getting dark, or well, getting dark. It's already dark. We want to get home and get safe. Like, it just, even if you saw just like random drunk people like stumbling at you, like in America, like if I'm in Philly, I'm just kind of like, oh God, are these guys gonna get uppity and be assholes and try and mug me or something? Like, I never got that vibe. Didn't get that vibe in Norway, and then going into Denmark here, I didn't get that vibe either. Because again, we didn't know what was the good and bad streets or anything like that. We're just walking home. We're two tourists that don't even speak the native language. But anyways, um, thank you for a very, very wonderful time. Norway, well, Norway too, but Denmark as well. Enjoyed the 2 day stay we had there, and just lastly, one of the main, well, actually, the main reason why we were going to Denmark is because my wife and I were boarding a cruise ship that we saw the rest of, well, not all, but because we visited one other country, Iceland. But the rest of the countries we visited on the trip, spare Iceland, were because we boarded a cruise ship, and it ported at the different nations, and we got out, did our thing, got back on, and traveled while we slept. It raised the expense considerably of this trip, but like I said, it is something that gives you more time to enjoy these places. So, traveling while you sleep is the key there. We didn't want to have to, keep hopping on planes to go from country to country. Rather travel while you sleep. 2 at sea days total for the trip. Anyways, that's it. Thanks for tuning in again, guys. Next up, Germany. Um, Das That's Russian. God damn it. Bye.